For over 15 years, we have been asking for one thing. Let the people who made New Vegas make Fallout again. Well, this week, it happened. And here's the thing. It only happened because Microsoft just torched its own gaming division. The best Fallout news in over a decade came riding in on the back of a mass layoff, which is about the most 2026 way this could have possibly gone down. So let's talk about it. What we actually know, who Josh Sawyer is, and why his name changes everything, the messy history between these two studios that most people get completely wrong, and the ugly price tag attached to all of it. Let's get into it. Okay, the facts first, because there's a difference between rumors and something that's a done deal. According to a report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, and this is the guy who breaks basically every real story in this industry before anyone else, Obsidian Entertainment is starting work on a brand new Fallout game. Not to be clear, it's not New Vegas 2, at least not that we know. A new Fallout. And it's reportedly being directed by Josh Sawyer. Bethesda's still involved in some capacity, so this isn't a total handoff. But the team actually building it would be Obsidian. Now, one honest caveat before you set your expectations to the moon, Schreier's own sources say this whole plan is, and I'm quoting here, in flux. It's early. Nothing's officially announced. This could shift. But the report is credible, and the direction is clear. So why is this a big deal? Why am I making a whole video about a game that might not come out this decade? 2 words. Josh Sawyer. If you don't know the name, let me fix that, because this guy's fingerprints are all over the Fallout you love. Back in the early 2000s, before Bethesda even owned Fallout, there was a cancelled Fallout game in the works called Van Buren. Sawyer was the lead designer on it. A lot of the ideas he cooked up for that dead project didn't stay dead. Caesar's Legion, that whole Roman Empire in the Wasteland faction, Joshua Graham, the Burned Man. Those came out of Sawyer's head, and years later, they became the backbone of Fallout New Vegas. Then in 2010, Obsidian got the keys to Fallout for exactly 1 game. Sawyer was the project director. They had 18 months. 18 on an engine that wasn't theirs, that they barely knew, borrowed from Bethesda. And in a year and a half, that team made what a huge chunk of this fanbase still calls the best written Fallout ever made. He also directed Honest Hearts, one of the most beloved story add-ons in the series. And after Fallout, the man didn't exactly fade out. He directed Pillars of Eternity, one of the best modern throwback RPGs. And then he made Pentiment, this quiet little medieval murder mystery that critics absolutely adored. So no, this isn't some washed-up name Microsoft dusted off for a headline. This is one of the most respected RPG designers alive, going back to the franchise he helped define. But it's not just the resume, it's how the guy thinks about games. And this is the part that should get you excited, because it's everything a lot of you feel Bethesda forgot. Sawyer's a history major. He builds worlds that feel grounded, materialistic, like they actually run on cause and effect instead of magic and vibes. He's obsessed with consequence, with factions that push and pull against each other, with choices that don't have a clean right answer, so you actually have to sit there and think about it. He talks openly about wanting friction in his games. The little bits of struggle and resource management that make your decisions mean something, instead of smoothing everything down into a theme park ride. Obsidian even has this internal thing Sawyer's mentioned, where designers go through the whole game making sure every skill, every build actually gets cool stuff to do. So you're never punished for playing the weird character you wanted to play. Compare that to the last 15 years of Bethesda slowly sanding the RPG down into a shooter with a dialogue wheel, and you start to see why this news hit the way it did. This is the design brain that treats you like an adult who wants to make hard choices, not a kid who needs a waypoint pointing at the fun. And if you want the proof, it's sitting right there in New Vegas. Think about the end of that game. You didn't just pick good guy or bad guy off a menu. You had the NCR. You had Caesar's Legion, you had Mr. House, and you had the option to say, screw all of them and take Vegas for yourself. 4 real paths. And committing to one genuinely slammed doors shut on the others. Whole quest lines you'd never see. Allies who turn on you at the worst possible moment. An ending that actually rearranged itself around the calls you made along the way. Nobody was standing behind you, whispering which choice was the right one, because there wasn't a right one. That's the Sawyer difference. Fallout 4 asked you which flavor of yes you wanted. New Vegas asked you who you were willing to become. Now, let's clear up the history, because everybody's dragging out the old story this week, and most of them are telling it wrong. You've heard it. Bethesda screwed Obsidian out of a bonus over 1 Metacritic point. New Vegas scored an 84, the bonus needed an 85, and Obsidian got stiffed. It's become this legend about Bethesda being the villain. Here's the thing. It's mostly a myth. And I know that because the guy at the center of it, Chris Avellone, has straight up told people to stop repeating it. According to Avellone, Bethesda didn't screw anybody. That Metacritic bonus clause was something Bethesda offered, a bonus Obsidian never even asked for. They missed the mark by a point, so they didn't get the extra money. That's it, no conspiracy. So if you were about to type it angrily in the comments, I just saved you the embarrassment. But there is a real thread of tension here, and it's juicier. Avellone has also claimed that Obsidian tried to make another Fallout at one point, and that Bethesda blocked it. That the studio had to rip the Fallout out of their own project and rebuild it as something original. Take that as the claim that it is, one designer's account. But if it's true, then what just happened is kind of poetic. Because the call to finally let Obsidian back into Fallout didn't come from Bethesda, it came from above them, from Microsoft. The parent company just reached over Bethesda's head and made the call. Bethesda reportedly wouldn't. Alright, now the part 1 can't skip because this channel doesn't do pure hype. This dream scenario got paid for in jobs. To land here, Obsidian just got hit hard in Microsoft's layoffs. A public filing confirmed 52 people cut from their California studio. That's roughly a quarter of the place. Gone. And to clear the runway for Fallout, Microsoft cancelled a sequel to Avowed, Obsidian's fantasy RPG, a game that was reportedly about a year away from being revealed. It didn't fit the new only flagship franchises survive strategy, so it got axed. So yeah, I'm excited, but I'm not gonna stand here and pretend the New Vegas dream came free. It came out of the same wave that gutted studios across the whole company. The people at the top made a call, and the people at the bottom paid for it. Same story as always, just with a silver lining bolted on the front this time. So what could this game even be? Honestly, we don't know. It's too early, no setting, no platform confirmation, nothing real yet. My hope. Give Sawyer a proper corner of the American wasteland we haven't overexplored, and let him do the faction thing he does better than anyone. Real sides, real consequences. A world where siding with one group actually shuts a door somewhere else. That's the stuff New Vegas nailed, and it's the stuff nobody's given us since. And a quick note, because I know someone's gonna bring it up. This isn't gonna be Outer Worlds in a vault suit. The magic of New Vegas wasn't just the studio. It was this specific designer, and this specific franchise, and the freedom to make it dense and mean and reactive. That's the combination we might finally be getting back. But temper it. This is years out, probably a long way out. Bethesda's still stuck on Elder Scrolls, Fallout 5 is barely a rumor, and this Obsidian project is early enough that Influx is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So don't pre-order your excitement. Just, for the first time in a really long time, let yourself feel a little bit of it. So here's what I want from you. If Sawyer and his team could set the next Fallout anywhere in the wasteland, where do you send them? And be honest, after the week Microsoft just had, do you actually trust them not to fumble this one? Drop it in the comments, I read every single one. And if you want to be here when the first real details drop, and you know I'll be picking them apart the second they do, hit subscribe. Because this story is just getting started. And knowing Microsoft, it's gonna get complicated. Until next time, watch what they do.